let's review the main motifs in the fall of the House of Usher. The first of which is sound. The narrator's approach to the House of Usher is relatively silent. In fact, the opening sentence describes the day as soundless. Inside the house, however, sounds receive continual emphasis throughout the story. Roderick's condition makes him overly sensitive to sound. He can listen to only certain types of music, and other sounds fill him with terror. Once Madeline dies, the emphasis on sound becomes even stronger. Roderick wanders through the house listening for something. Strange sounds awaken the narrator in the night. As the story nears its climax and the narrator tries to distract Roderick by reading aloud to him, the house resonates with strange sounds. Grating hinges, screaming, and ringing sounds terrorize Roderick and the narrator as the tension builds to a literal collapse. Illness is another motif. Roderick's illness provides the inciting event for the narrator's visit, and Roderick is preoccupied with mental and physical issues that end up overtaking the Usher twins. The relationship between Roderick and Madeline's illnesses is revealing. Madeline is both wasting away and cataleptic, a rare condition in which one becomes rigid and non-responsive to the outside world. Roderick's condition contrasts hers. He's overly sensitive to noise and overreacts to stimuli like noise and light. It's possible that Madeline is merely the physical manifestation of Roderick's fear of death, or that Roderick, as Madeline's caretaker, is affected negatively through his care of the sick. The story hinges on this question. Is Roderick the victim of supernatural events, or is he going mad? Fear is another important motif. When the narrator arrives at the House of Usher, he finds Roderick essentially a captive of fear. Fear dominates Roderick to such an extent that fear itself becomes worse than its real or imagined object. Fear controls his reality, and because Roderick fears death, his fear leads to his death. Poe's story suggests that people have the power to create negative situations through their fear of them. In fact, in this story, fear spreads like a contagious disease. As a visitor in the House of Usher, the narrator is more fearful of both his imaginary and real experiences in the sinister titular place. Claustrophobia is another motif. Isolation rules the House of Usher. From the decaying woods it inhabits to the tragic figures within its walls, the house seems to act as a barrier that keeps its inhabitants from interacting with the outside world. Roderick has not left the house in years, and the profound isolation of Roderick and his sister Madeline has caused their eerie closeness and contributes to the mood of entrapment. Their isolation is briefly penetrated by the introduction of the narrator, an outsider, into the setting. Before her death, Madeline worries about being buried alive, which would trap her in an even smaller enclosure than the house. In the end, this is exactly what happens. The sensation that everyone in the house is trapped steadily builds and culminates in Madeline's being entombed alive.